On my wedding day, a girl rear-ended my wedding car. She looked visibly nervous. My husband joked familiarly. What? Trying to crash the wedding? He let her go, saying they could settle the payment for the damages later. A few days later, I walked into my own marital home and found the two of them together. The girl was holding onto his arm, with a nonchalant attitude, saying, "I'll repay the money you lent me for the house, and you can give me back my husband." Chapter 1. On my wedding day, the car I had as part of my dowry was rear-ended by a girl. She got out of her car, nervously walking over to apologize. "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to." She looked down. Her crescent-shaped eyebrows, almond eyes, and slight dimples made her look sweet. Even without smiling, she seemed to be in her early 20s, wearing a light pink lace dress, with a shy, student-like appearance. My husband, Alex, immediately got out of the car and joked with her from across the vehicle. "What's this? Are you trying to crash the wedding?" The girl looked guilty, biting her lip and staying silent. Seeing my puzzled expression, Alex casually introduced her. "This is my ex-girlfriend. She lives nearby." Realizing she should apologize to me, the girl quickly bowed her head and said, full of remorse, "I'm so sorry, big sister, for ruining your special day." What should I do? The normal response would be to call the insurance company, but this girl had the look of someone who had no idea what to do, like she was expecting someone to teach her. Alex chuckled helplessly. "Didn't I teach you how to handle this? How come you still don't know anything?" I forgot." Alex turned to me and said, "Wait for me. I'll deal with the accident and be right back." He had never mentioned his ex to me before. Alex and I are the same age, 27, both with master's degrees. But this girl looked younger. I didn't know when they had been together or when they broke up, because she knocked off the bumper. The car was unusable. Switching cars took a long time, causing us to miss the auspicious time for the wedding. Even some of our neighbors came out to watch the scene. One aunt called out from her window, "Selena, what's the deal with that girl? Is she really here to steal your groom?" A grandpa nearby, sitting on a small stool, said, "Your husband and that girl's dog are close, hugging and all. It's inappropriate." At that moment, I wanted to call off the wedding, but with all the guests already there, I couldn't just leave everyone hungry. So I talked to the MC and decided to cancel the ceremony. We didn't do anything, just let the guests eat. My parents called and asked, "Honey, what's going on?" I said, "The wedding is off for now." Alex's family panicked and kept calling me, but I put my phone on silent and didn't pick up. Instead, I went straight back to our marital home. That night, when Alex came home, he didn't mention what had happened during the day. He went straight to asking me, "Why did you call off the wedding?" He even had the nerve to turn it on me. "Shouldn't you be explaining things to me?" Alex paused as he was about to put down his keys and casually said, "She's just an ex-girlfriend. I didn't expect her to rear-end the wedding car. It's just a coincidence. Don't overthink it." Alex and I met through a matchmaker, and we've always spoken directly. "Since she's your ex, I don't think it's necessary for you to handle her insurance claim." Alex took off his suit jacket, sat down across from me, and calmly said, "Lisa's car. I helped her buy it. I also arranged her insurance. She doesn't understand how to handle it herself, and it could delay your compensation. Your parents gave you a 300,000 yuan car as part of the dowry. We can't just leave it unrepaired." "Can we?" Alex's logic was odd. He was so concerned about getting the compensation that he took it upon himself to help the person who caused the accident with the insurance. With that kind of enthusiasm, he might as well work at an insurance company. "When did you break up with Lisa?" 6 months ago. Amicably, Alex said without any hesitation. "We broke up because of personality differences." He wiped his face. "Babe, we've both had a long day. Let's not let this affect our lives." He grabbed a towel and said, "You go to bed first. I've got some things to take care of." Then he went to the bathroom to shower. His vague, non-committal attitude made me so angry I couldn't help but laugh. Alex and I had planned the wedding first and hadn't yet gotten the marriage certificate. Now, with an ex suddenly showing up, I didn't see the point of going ahead with the registration. However, Our marital home had been paid for equally by both of our families, and both our names were on the property deed. Dividing assets and discussing things with our parents would take time. The car repair would cost thousands, and according to Alex, Lisa couldn't afford to pay that much. I told Alex that this was my dowry car, and no matter what, compensation had to be made. All I needed to do now was get him off the property deed and get my compensation, and then we could split up. Chapter 2. Over the next few days, Alex became very busy. He openly said things like, "I'm going to the insurance company with Lisa. Lisa's got a problem. I'm going to check on her." When our parents asked about the marriage certificate, I kept delaying and quietly consulted a lawyer about the division of property. But then something ridiculous happened. One day, I left some documents at home, so I took advantage of my lunch break at work to go back. As soon as I entered, I heard voices coming from the bedroom. I thought maybe my parents had come by, but when I opened the door, there was Lisa, dressed in something skimpy, lying on top of Alex. Her face flushed. "You said you didn't miss me." Huh? Alex's eyes were hazy. "I still don't." But his actions betrayed what he really wanted. They had wrinkled my wedding bed, the bed I had personally chosen. Lisa's hair was all over the sheets, and the cheap scent of her perfume lingered in the air. A wave of nausea hit me instantly. What were they playing at? Some kind of rekindling the old flame drama? Bang! The door hit the wall and bounced back. The loud noise made Lisa flinch. She looked over at me, her face flushed, her eyes moist. Alex's gaze slowly cleared. He helped Lisa sit up, wrapping the blanket around her. "You should go. I'll handle this." Lisa, bundled in the blanket, gathered herself quietly. Then, with me watching, she firmly hugged Alex's arm and, with all sincerity, said, "I'm sorry. I just can't let him go." "How much did you spend on this wedding home?" "I'll pay you for it. And you can give me back my husband. I really like the decor here. Why don't you just move out?" I stood there, holding my documents, and quietly asked, "Why should I move out of my marital home? This apartment was something my parents helped me secure, and it's bound to appreciate in value. It's conveniently located for work, and if it weren't for marriage, I could have bought it on my own with a loan. Why should I move out?" Lisa looked up at Alex, unsure, hoping he would say something. Alex thought for a moment and said, "I don't think there's any need for us to get married now. I've realized that I still want to be with her. I don't care if you want to be with a pig, but this house is mine." Lisa was displeased. "He paid for part of it too. Why should it be yours?" "Because without me, he wouldn't have been able to buy a house in this neighborhood at all." I raised my phone and snapped a picture of the two of them. I was ready to post it in Alex's family group chat. Alex jumped up, dragged me out of the room, and lowered his voice. "Don't make a scene. My mom doesn't approve of the two of us being together. What good does it do for you if this blows up?" Oh, so there it was. It wasn't a personality clash. It was because his family didn't approve. But what did that have to do with me? I was getting this house, and they both had to leave. Chapter 3. That evening didn't go well. Alex and I were talking in the living room, while Lisa stayed in the bedroom. I refused to sit on the bed they had messed up. Alex tried his best to persuade me. "It's not like I'm short on money. I'll give you more, okay? Your parents already bought you a house. So what's the big deal with this one?" Was money really what I lacked? The purchase of the house, the renovation, everything had been carefully managed by me. Even the curtains were something I selected after visiting at least 10 different stores. Why should I give up my home to some shameless ex? For what reason? To put it bluntly, the house is my asset. Why should I hand it over to him? Charity? I like this house. Seeing that I wasn't giving in, Alex got frustrated. "Is it fun to drag this out? I don't like you. Do you get that?" I was stunned. He's talking like I'm the one who's so into him. Does he really think I'm holding on to this just because I want to get him back? Anyway, Alex and I haven't registered our marriage, and we've never had any deep connection. Now, with him in a hurry to marry Lisa, I've become the one with all the time in the world. I smiled and said, "The property deed has both our names on it. You either take my money and get your name removed, or we can just keep dragging it out." At that moment, The bedroom door burst open. Lisa walked out nonchalantly. She grabbed Alex's hand, shook it gently, and said calmly, "Don't bother with her. I have a place. Come home with me." Oh, Lisa's so-called place was a rental. Girls her age probably think they can triumph over anything just because a man favors them. True love is priceless? What she doesn't realize is that favoritism means nothing in the face of reality. Alex stormed out with Lisa, slamming the door behind them. Later that night, I got a call from Alex's mother. "Selena, are you and Alex having problems?" "Yes, Auntie, I plan to break up with him. I'll return the money you helped with for the house, and Alex can just handle the property transfer with me. You owe me at least an explanation." "Auntie, you should ask him." Alex's mother hurriedly hung up, while I continued discussing with my parents about refunding the wedding gifts. Chapter 4. Alex sure has principles. He actually moved in with Lisa, though they didn't move far, just within the same neighborhood. Every time I went to work or came home, I'd run into them walking their dog. That dog was vicious and always barked at me. Lisa, with a mocking smile, would say, "Look at this little guy. He can tell who's good and who's bad." The next day, I filed a complaint with the property management. The management spoke to Lisa. "Please make sure to control your dog next time. If it scares other residents, we can't be held responsible." Lisa wasn't happy and publicly tagged me in the neighborhood group chat, saying, "If you're so timid, maybe you shouldn't go outside. You can't expect every dog in the world to avoid you, right?" Basically, she was calling me overly sensitive. She was clearly trying to rally the dog lovers to attack me. Sure enough, some people chimed in. "Yeah, girl, if you're scared of dogs, just stay away. Mutual respect, right?" "Exactly. We've got them on a leash. What's your problem?" Suddenly, my neighbor from across the hall chimed in to defend me. "But she doesn't leash her dog. My kid got scared last time too." Really classy behavior. The group chat went silent for a moment. Then the same people who had criticized me earlier turned on Lisa, tagging her, "You walk your dog without a leash? You're giving dog owners a bad name." Alex spoke up. "Sorry, we'll be more careful next time." But he forgot to change his nickname. So both he and I were still speaking with room number 102. The group admin was confused. "Mr. Alex, which apartment do you live in? Isn't it 102? My message was delayed, and the photo I had of Lisa walking her dog without a leash was sent out a minute later. So the video appeared right below the group admin's question. In the video, Lisa's dog was barking wildly while Lisa, trying to provoke me, pulled Alex's tie and kissed him shamelessly. The chat went completely silent. Then someone asked, I thought 102 was a couple. Didn't they just get married a few days ago? What's going on?" Alex suddenly sent me a private message. "Can you take it down?" I ignored him. When I switched back to the group chat, the group had exploded. "No way. The husband is with another woman? And this blatantly? Provoking his wife? How shameless do you have to be to destroy someone's marriage? Even the dog is picking on people? Disgusting." The neighbor who had witnessed everything that day was getting into it now. They sent a voice message. "Oh, I saw it all. That shameless little girl crashed the wedding car that day. Right after the crash, the groom came out. She really was trying to crash the wedding. Anyone with a dog knows that if the dog is that friendly with someone, they must be a familiar face. Who knows how long this has been going on?" 102's owner. "You should look into it." Lisa, who had been staying silent until now, couldn't hold back any longer. She tried to defend herself. "We were together before he met the bride." A neighbor asked, "So you two were tricking her into a marriage?" Someone posted a video of the car crash from the wedding day. When both videos were compared, Lisa was completely exposed. The group chat was filled with angry comments, messages flooding in. Lisa's landlord finally spoke up. "Knowing each other before doesn't give you the right to ruin someone's marriage. Lisa, please move out by next month." Exactly. Do people really have no morals these days? Shameless. A flood of agreement followed in the chat. This neighborhood has prime real estate. There's never a shortage of renters. I know Lisa's landlord. We've had dinner together before. She messaged me privately. Back then, I thought she was just a soft, delicate young girl. so I didn't charge her much rent. I never expected her to be a shameless homewrecker. When I went back to the group chat, I saw that Lisa had been kicked out. After a while, Alex also left the group voluntarily. Chapter 5. As for the property transfer, Alex hadn't made any move. He clearly wanted to drag this out with me. But when you lose something, you also gain something. After things fell apart with Alex, my wedding leave was cancelled. This month, the company held a competition for a promotion, and I buried myself in work. To my surprise, I ended up with the highest performance. I even got a promotion and a raise. My colleagues joked that I had lost in love but won in my career. That night, they insisted I treat them to dinner. By 9:30 p.m., we finished up, and as I was leaving the KTV, I ran into Lisa. She was wearing a little black dress with spaghetti straps, her makeup perfectly done. After saying goodbye to her friends, she came over and blocked my way. "Sis, let's talk. I don't have anything to talk about with you." Lisa ignored me and took out her phone to call Alex. "Honey, you don't need to pick me up. I'll go home on my own." After she hung up, she had this ridiculous look on her face, like she was so proud of how much Alex adored her. Since we were heading in the same direction, I grabbed my bag and walked ahead while she trailed behind. Still talking, "Alex and I were together before. Actually, you're the real third party here." I suddenly stopped, turned around, and stared at her directly. I had no idea how much nonsense was going on in her head. Seeing my reaction, Lisa only got bolder. "Yeah, maybe crashing the wedding wasn't the most honorable thing to do, but what can I say? I'm shameless. I love Alex, and I won't give him up. If you were me, would you give him up? Why should I waste my time trying to understand the mindset of a piece of trash? If you two were so great together, why did you break up?" My mom didn't allow it. I had just gotten into grad school, and I needed to focus on my studies. Alex's family is well educated. If I had wanted to marry him, you wouldn't have had a chance. His parents would definitely prefer me over you. I kept staring at her without saying anything. "So now that you're together, why hasn't he married you yet?" Lisa paused, as if I had hit a sore spot. She then stretched out her ring finger, expressionless. "He already proposed to me the same night. Actually, he even promised to break off the wedding with you." I nearly burst out laughing when I saw her ring, so tiny you'd need a magnifying glass to see the diamond. Alex is just an ordinary worker, making barely over 10,000 yuan a month. After expenses, he's not well off. Unlike when we were getting married, where Alex's family paid for everything, the 5 gold items, the diamond ring, all of it, though I've returned it all now. Back then, the diamond ring was practically blinding. I chuckled. "Sister, the fact is, Alex and I are still both on the property deed. As long as he doesn't marry you, you don't have a secure home. I should thank your husband for using his money to buy me a house. Otherwise, I'd be stuck paying a mortgage. The longer he delays, the more interest I save." "Oh, and you're proud of that?" "Beggar." Lisa put on a nonchalant expression, as if I were the one being overly sentimental, but from her expression, I could tell she was furious inside. That meant I had achieved my goal. If Alex is going to cling to the house, let Lisa go and cause trouble for him. The more she fights with him, the sooner Alex won't be able to take it and will come to settle things with me. Chapter 6. Sure enough, a week later, I received a call from Alex. "What did you say to Lisa?" "What do you think I said?" Alex's tone was sharp. "You didn't need to provoke her, did you? She's been crying every day, and her health isn't great to begin with." I interrupted him impatiently. "Her crying every day is my problem? Shouldn't that be your problem? If you hadn't provoked my wife, she wouldn't be nagging me about meeting my parents every day." Alex's tone wasn't any better, but I caught the key information in his words. "She's pushing to meet the parents, so why hasn't she?" "It's because Alex's family doesn't accept Lisa. He's been hiding it all along, too scared to let Lisa find out." At that moment, I couldn't decide if Lisa was more laughable or pitiful. Alex hadn't managed to convince his parents, so he couldn't marry Lisa anytime soon. My plan to rely on Lisa to get the house back wasn't going to work after all. Left with no other choice, I had to talk to Alex's mother. Over the next 2 weeks, I borrowed some money from friends and relatives and reached out to Alex's mom. Auntie, last time I didn't bring this up because I was concerned about your health. Alex has gotten back together with his ex, and the house was something my parents pulled strings to secure, so I can't just leave it to him. Could you please talk to Alex and ask him to handle the transfer with me? Alex's mother hesitated for a moment before sighing. We liked you. As for any other daughter-in-law, we don't accept them. Honestly, that was just talk. No parent ever sides against their own child. Everyone knows the house is a good asset, and they all want it. She apologized repeatedly over the phone. How about this? I'll come with you to see Alex. We'll all sit down together, including that girl, and have an open and honest conversation. Before heading out, I gathered all the necessary documents. If the conversation went well, I hoped we could finalize everything within the day and cut ties with Alex completely. Alex's mom had a key to Alex and Lisa's place. It must have been given to her by Alex. This, in its own way, was a form of favoritism. No matter how much she might dislike Lisa, if her son chose her, she'd have to help. She led me inside and sat down on the sofa, preparing to call Alex. Suddenly, the door opened from the outside. Laughter filled the room first. I think it's going to be a boy, just like you. Then Lisa walked in, holding an ultrasound printout in her hand. She was on the phone with Alex, her smile still on her face, until she saw the two of us sitting on the sofa, waiting for her. For a moment, you could hear a pin drop. She slowly set her things down, paused for a few seconds, then very calmly said, "Honey, your mom and your ex-wife are here." Yes. She called me the ex-wife. She even smirked, throwing me a look of disdain when she thought I wasn't paying attention. I remained seated, unmoving, and said nothing. Previously, Alex's mom hadn't liked Lisa, but now that she was pregnant, the situation had changed. This moment was definitely one to reflect on. I knew Alex's mom loved children. She had already hinted to me several times before, saying she wanted to be a grandmother. Well, now someone was giving her what she wanted. Sure enough, Alex's mom's expression had already changed. Her previously furrowed brows were now slowly relaxing. Once Lisa hung up the phone, Alex's mom asked, "You're pregnant?" Lisa nodded and handed over the ultrasound. "Yes, it's Alex's." She glanced at me calmly, with a look of triumph. Lisa may not be very smart, but she's got one thing down. She never takes the lead herself. She always lets Alex handle the negotiations. Chapter 7. When Alex came home, he was out of breath and sweating. "Mom, Lisa and I are going to register our marriage. We're not having a wedding." Alex's mom snapped. "What? How many weddings do you plan on having? Do you want to embarrass us even more?" Alex shot me a quick glance and said, "Lisa and I don't have a place to live yet." The implication was clear. He wanted to guilt-trip me into giving up the marital home. Alex's mom looked a bit troubled. She started to speak, but I interrupted her before she could finish her first word. "No problem. Since she's pregnant, they can live there." All three of them were stunned. They didn't expect me to agree so easily. Lisa, snuggled up against Alex, looked smug. "Exactly. The marital home should go to people who are actually getting married. Why should you keep living there if you're not getting married? You should just take the money and leave." Alex was getting a prime location house for free, and even though Alex's mom apologized, the smile on her face was impossible to hide. I said, "You can have the house, but I'm going on a business trip in a few days. We'll handle the property transfer later." Alex's expression soured, but since he had been dragging things out before, he couldn't really criticize me for it. "When will you be back?" I smiled. "Depends." With that, I walked out without looking back. Because I had seen things clearly now, it would be impossible to get Alex off the deed on my own terms. He had no sense of decency left. And when morality can't be relied on, you turn to the law. Chapter 8. I bought a few mini cameras online and hired someone to install them in various parts of the house. I also set up a separate internet connection just for the cameras, so I could monitor the house from my phone at any time. I avoided placing them in private areas like the bedroom and bathroom, since I wasn't relying on this. After packing up my personal belongings, I moved out of the marital home. The next day, Lisa wasted no time moving in. From time to time, I logged into the cameras and saw the two of them being all lovey-dovey around the house. On several occasions, Lisa would ask, "Who's prettier, me or your ex-wife?" "Of course, you're prettier. That wicked woman used to bully me all the time. She's finally gone for good. Be careful when you go out. What if she tries to get back at you? It's a wonder I haven't taken revenge on her yet." My friends and neighbors all felt indignant on my behalf. "Why aren't you standing up for yourself? Why give the house to those scumbags?" If it were me, I'd dump garbage right at their doorstep. I'd hire someone to harass them until even their parents wouldn't recognize them. But all of that? Small stuff. Petty tricks. If you're going to do it big. I knew Lisa was stalking my social media and watching my posts. So, from that day on, I posted a daily update. The first day, I posted a picture of the coffee table. I told him I liked the Nordic style, so he scoured the entire city to find this for me. The second day, I posted the curtains. He wanted black, but I preferred something sheer. In the end, he listened to me. The third day, I have the designs for my house here. If anyone wants to copy, send me a message, and I can help you recreate it perfectly. The fourth day, I still love you. By the 10th day, late at night, Lisa accidentally liked one of my posts, then quickly disliked it. One weekend morning, I got a text from a neighbor. "What's going on at your place? All that banging and clattering?" I logged into the cameras, and sure enough, Lisa had snapped. The coffee table, dining table, curtains, and sofa all smashed to pieces by the workers she hired and then hauled away. In less than a day, the house was left completely empty. Lisa, in high spirits, sat among the ruins and called Alex. "Honey, I threw out all that woman's stuff. Come home early today, and let's pick out some new furniture." At the same time, Lisa updated her social media with a picture of the wrecked living room. The caption read, "Out with the old, in with the new." I smiled. 2 minutes later, I called the police. "Hello, officer. I'd like to report a crime." "What for?" "Willful destruction of property." Chapter 9. When Lisa was taken to the police station, she was still in shock. She was wearing the same outfit she had posted in her social media update that morning. Her makeup was done, ready for Alex to come home so they could go to the furniture store together. "Willful destruction of property?" she asked, clutching her purse with an innocent look. "I don't understand." "I didn't. I just redecorated my own furniture. When Alex told me he was out of money, I had contributed an additional 200,000 yuan to renovate the house. And now, it was all coming in handy, right there in front of the officer. I laid out every piece of evidence on the table. The original purchase list, the itemized cost breakdown, payment receipts, and account details for all the furniture. The video footage of Lisa and the mover smashing and hauling away the furniture. And finally, the property deed. Owners, me and Alex. Ownership status, jointly owned. The evidence was undeniable. That red property deed was now silently mocking Lisa's ignorance. The officer frowned and asked Lisa, "Why did you destroy someone else's furniture?" Lisa tried to argue. She said the house was mine. I moved in, so I'm the owner of the house. And I didn't like the decor. Can't I change it? I remained expressionless. "Do you have any proof? Did I sign a gift agreement or transfer the property to you?" The officer looked at Lisa again. "Yeah. Do you have any evidence? Don't cry. You need to provide evidence." Lisa couldn't say anything. She just kept repeating that the house was hers. The officer had had enough. "If you can't explain yourself, call your family. This isn't the place for you to cry." Lisa called Alex. Half an hour later, Alex arrived, looking furious. The moment he walked in, he started yelling at me. "Are you crazy, Selena? We had an agreement. Why are you making trouble now?" The officer shouted. "Watch your mouth." I blinked, feeling the weight of all my pent-up frustration finally lift as I got my long-awaited release. "Officer, this is my marital home. On the day of our wedding, he got together with her and even kicked me out of the house so they could live in it. Now they've damaged the furniture I paid to renovate. What should be done about it?" The officer glanced at the list and said, Anyone guilty of willful destruction of property can be sentenced to up to 3 years in prison, detention, or a fine. If the value is significant or if there are other serious circumstances, the sentence can be 3 to 7 years. If the damage is under 3,000 yuan, the case can be settled with compensation through mediation. However, for damage that leads to a loss of over 100,000 yuan, the punishment could include not only compensation and settlements but also a sentence ranging from 3 to 7 years or even longer. This looks like a lot of money. I had only listed a few big-ticket items and hadn't tallied everything yet. If I included the full cost of the renovation and some of the art pieces, it could easily amount to over 100,000 yuan, which meant I could actually get Lisa sent to prison. Chapter 10. Lisa's face turned pale. Her whole body started shaking. Suddenly, Alex pointed at me. Can secret recordings even count as evidence? What about her invasion of privacy? I pulled up our chat logs from when Alex and I were renovating the marital home. One of the messages read, "Honey, the furniture in the house is really valuable. I want to install security cameras." Alex replied, "Okay." He had been so disinterested in the renovation that he probably didn't even remember this. Feigning regret, I looked at Alex with a mocking glint in my eye. "Honey, we installed the cameras in our house a long time ago, and you knew about it." Suddenly, I remembered a video I had saved casually, one I had filed away because the latter half was too cringeworthy to watch. I pulled it up now. It showed the living room. The content wasn't suitable for viewing, but the audio played clearly through the phone. "Baby, let's move to another room. What if there's a camera?" "Don't worry," Lisa said with a laugh, even raising her voice. "I want her to see what we're doing in her house. Have you seen how she's about to lose it from her social media posts? I'm so bad." Huh? Not cute at all. Everyone in the room, except for the couple involved, was utterly disgusted. The officer put down the phone, his expression serious. "There's nothing wrong with someone installing cameras in their own home. I can't regulate moral behavior, but I can address the destruction of property. This kind of bullying is unacceptable." Alex panicked and softened his tone. "Officer, she's pregnant. Could you give her a break?" I laughed. Funny, she didn't seem to have any issues with her health when she was smashing up the furniture. The officer stood up. "Once the case is filed, it won't be withdrawn. If you all come to an agreement, you can go to the mediation room." Lisa finally seemed to realize the gravity of the situation. Her face turned pale as she coldly glared at me. "I'll pay for the damages." The officer gave a cold laugh. "It's not just about compensation. If the amount is large enough, you'll still face jail time. You're young. Where did you get such a bad temper? Going toe-to-toe with someone's wife?" Lisa stopped speaking and clung to Alex's sleeve, shrinking behind him. I opted for mediation instead of sending Lisa straight to jail because putting her behind bars wasn't my goal. I wouldn't gain anything from it. What I cared about was something tangible, something I could hold on to, the property deed and my reputation. Chapter 11. As soon as we stepped out of the police station, Lisa rushed at me, grabbing my hair. "Do you want to die?" I quickly reacted and slapped her hard across the face, leaving her cheek red. "If you don't want to go to jail, keep your filthy mouth shut. From today, you're out of my house. If I find out you come back, I'll call the police and have you arrested." Lisa clung to Alex, crying, "I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving." Alex tried to soothe her while taking a deep breath. "Okay. How about this? We'll compensate for the damaged furniture, and I'll give you the house. We'll do the transfer tomorrow." That was the previous deal. Things are different now. I enjoyed watching the two of them squirm and, with a slow smile, said, "Give me the house, and you both also have to apologize to me publicly." I think the apology letter should be posted on the community bulletin board for everyone to see. "Don't push it," Alex snapped. I turned and started walking back toward the police station. Alex quickly called after me. "Okay, fine. We'll do it your way." Lisa screeched like a madwoman. "No way. I will never apologize." Alex softly coaxed her. "You're pregnant. Don't stoop to her level. I'll write the apology letter for you. She needs to write it herself. I'll be taking it for handwriting analysis." I reminded him calmly. "Over my dead body. I'll never apologize." Lisa shrieked. "Fine. Then off to jail you go." I used to beg them. Now, It was their turn to beg me. Alex managed to talk me out of going back to the police station. Because of this, Alex was forced to agree to meet me first thing the next morning to transfer the house. Every second I waited was an act of mercy toward him and Lisa. I had the money ready, and with Alex's consent, the transfer process went by quickly. I removed Alex's name from the property deed, although I now had a mortgage. With my current income, I could pay it off within 5 years. The pressure wasn't particularly high. That day, as I left the government office, Alex stopped me. Drop the charges. Ignoring his commanding tone, I replied, as long as you both apologize publicly, everything will be fine. After all, my goal was to get the house. What happened to them was none of my concern. Now, half of my goal has already been achieved. Alex agreed to write the apology letter once he got home. That same day, I contacted the renovation company again. Last time, I had to take Alex's preferences into account. For example, he liked minimalist styles, so I gave up the cotton and fresh elements that I had always loved. This time, I explained my preferences to the designer. I decided to go with French light luxury. The designer was enthusiastic. I need to see the layout of your home. I happen to have time now. Let's go check it out together. I was in a great mood after getting the property deed, but that good mood vanished when I arrived at the front door. Chapter 12. My keyhole had been filled with cement, and on the door, someone had painted 4 large red characters, "Bitch. Go die." The designer was horrified. "Miss, did you offend someone?" No need to guess, I knew exactly who it was. I just didn't expect that she still hadn't learned her lesson. Looks like I'll need to install a camera in the hallway next time. At that moment, my neighbor across the hall opened her door slightly, her expression secretive. "Selena, you're here. I know who did it." She invited me and the designer inside and began complaining. "Recently, people have been shoving flyers into our doors. No matter how much I tell them to stop, they keep doing it. Not just slipping them in, they stick them on the door. It's like a disease." I got so fed up. I installed a camera. She opened her laptop and pulled up the footage from that day. Guess what? It caught her in the act. You can see her from the back here, and you'll see her face when she leaves. On the screen, there was Lisa, standing with her back to the camera, holding a can of red paint and shamelessly spraying words on my door. After finishing, she pulled out some cement and filled the keyhole. Then, she wiped the door handle with a wet wipe. The neighbor couldn't hold back her disgust. "What is she doing? Wiping off fingerprints? She's both wicked and stupid," the designer added. "Filling a lock with cement ruins it. You'll have to replace it. And that won't be cheap." It wouldn't be. I've seen ignorant people in my life, but never someone this foolish. She probably didn't expect her crime to be caught on camera. This time, I didn't hold back. Yes, I called the police again. Forget the apology letter. I went straight to the neighborhood group chat and publicly exposed Lisa's actions. Chapter 13. That same night, she was taken away. And so, our neighborhood residents had another chance to gather and enjoy the spectacle. Lisa caused a scene downstairs, insisting she hadn't done anything and even hitting a police officer. The older folks watching from below pointed and gossiped. "That's her? So young, yet with such a wicked heart. The guy's no good either. A pair of despicable people." The officer handling the case was the same one as last time. When he saw me, he smiled. "You sure have some kind of luck." I could only shrug and glance at the bite marks on his wrist. "Sorry for causing you trouble." At the police station, Lisa was shaking with anger. "Selena, just you wait." Because of the significant amount of damage Lisa caused, and the fact that she assaulted an officer, she had to face criminal charges. She had arrived with a lot of bravado, but when it came time to beg for mercy, she was utterly pitiful. "I know I was wrong. Please, sister, forgive me, okay? I just got into grad school. I still have my studies. Why are you ruining my future?" I hadn't heard a joke this good in years. "Weren't you the one who ruined your own future?" Even the police officer said. "It's not up to her to forgive you now. What you did was too serious. It's out of her hands." In the end, I didn't wait for Alex to show up. After giving my statement, I went home. Chapter 14. I heard that Lisa was eventually sentenced. However, because she paid me compensation, her sentence was reduced, and she got out on probation. This whole situation became quite the local scandal. There are plenty of shameless people in the world, but few reach the level of these two. From the car crash, to stealing someone's husband, to the final outburst, it was all pieced together by onlookers. The videos were compiled, along with a long expose, and it went viral locally. Some video bloggers even shared it. It quickly gained traction online. The comments were full of people saying, "Can someone say where this happened? Let's make sure their workplaces and schools see this. People like this shouldn't live in society. They're asking to be punched. Wow, isn't this my coworker/classmate?" Even though the videos had been blurred, people still recognized them. Since I no longer had any connection to them, all the follow-up details I learned came from netizens. Because Lisa now had a criminal record, she was expelled from the graduate program she had just been accepted into. Alex's situation became known at his job, and he was fired. The biggest shock was that Alex and Lisa had secretly gotten married. They had done so shortly after Lisa bragged to me about Alex's proposal. One's in jail, the other's unemployed. A perfect match. However, after Alex's mother found out that Lisa had a criminal record, she absolutely refused to let her keep the baby. After all, this situation would affect the child's future and was a disgrace to their family. She raised a fuss every day, even rallying a large group of relatives and friends to cause trouble at Lisa's parents' house. In the end, Alex couldn't take it anymore and divorced Lisa. The baby was also aborted. My parents sighed. Good thing you acted decisively. If you had gone ahead with the marriage, who knows how much more trouble there would have been. Now, everyone in the neighborhood knows who they are. One day, the elderly gatekeeper saw me and, with a kind smile, patted his chest and assured me, "Don't worry, young lady, my eyes are sharp. You can live here in peace. I'll make sure no one sneaks in under my watch." After months of chaos, I focused all my energy on work, with no plans to marry in the short term. Even my parents realized that blindly pushing for marriage could lead to endless problems. True character is revealed over time, and it's best to take things slowly. Patience brings good fortune.